The Milwaukee Brewers are making moves. We have multiple huge Brewers updates, including what the plan may be going forward with the Brewers pitching, including Logan Henderson, and what the injury status on Jacob Misiorowski also means for this rotation. We're going to be breaking that down, as well as going over a few updates that revolved around tonight's game against the Atlanta Braves. We're going to be breaking this all down, as we have some amazing stuff to cover here about this Milwaukee Brewers team. Before we do jump into this, though, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to hit the sub button if you haven't already, and you're looking for all of your Milwaukee Brewers news. We know that just over 98% of you guys watching right now have not done so already, and we're going to be having you guys with daily updates regarding this Milwaukee Brewers team through the remainder of the season, into the postseason, and also heading into this offseason. You won't want to miss what we have to bring you, but let's jump straight into this, because we have some very good updates. First of all, regarding Jacob Misiorowski going into tonight's game, Logan Henderson, and a lot of stuff revolving around the plan for this Brewers team as we head closer and closer to the postseason, and as this Brewers team keeps on winning and winning and winning. And I want to pull this up from an article going over quite some interesting stuff when it comes to the plan for the rotation going forward with this Milwaukee Brewers team. And this is what they have to say starting off. For what it's worth, there is another bright side to Jacob Misiorowski's injury. The rookie sensation already has pitched 96 innings between the majors and the minors in this year, which is just one shy of his career high in 97, which he set last season. So we can kind of suspect that, at least in some fashion, Jacob Misiorowski was on kind of an inning count, I guess is what we can say. I don't really think he necessarily had, as many as you can. I don't think he had a strict limit, but you don't want to wear out his arm, especially at this point in the season where we're still, a couple months away from the postseason, and that's where right now, at least, the Brewers are really aiming towards him. Having a guy jump up what would be, at least this year, if he continued on this pace significantly into later on in the postseason, would cause, a little bit more stress on the arm than I think the Brewers would like for Jacob Isarowski. So this injury not just gives him time to get up, a little kind of rest on the arm, get a bit, restored back to your preseason, your peak season performance, but it also gives a very interesting look for this rotation over these 15 days and even longer perhaps with what the plan is for the remainder of the month for this Brewers team. And we're going to jump into that here in a moment. And I want to go over really quickly Logan Henderson's stats, because of course, as we look in Milwaukee and Nashville this year, he's been phenomenal. I think that he was the obvious person to call up here, but this article proposes that Logan Henderson is going to remain the sixth starter for this Milwaukee Brewers team and run a six-man rotation for the remainder of the year. And looking at this, obviously, the rotation right now is so good. We have so many good pitchers in the system. A lot of people may not be too fond of a six-man rotation, and I want to know what you guys think about this as well, because I think there's a lot of positives and maybe a few negatives. I think more so just positivity than this for the remainder of the season. But when we look at him, Logan Henderson, that is, he has absolutely earned his spot as another starter on this team. And I think that if the rotation wasn't as busy as it is, he would easily have a spot here already on this team. But, you don't want to send anybody down who's going hot. You don't want to, bring anybody up who, they don't think is ready yet. But Logan Henderson is in the middle there where he's ready. It just is a very, busy rotation, and not just as of right now enough room for him, but in 5 starts this year at the MLB level, he's been phenomenal, less than a 1 whip, and also having that 1.78 ERA. You can't really ask for much more. Now, one thing also going on here about Logan Henderson is that he's also very close to his inning total, for his career in this season. And I want to pull up the Jacob Misiorowski injury, kind of just show you here, of course, because this is a good sign, not the arm, which of course is a much better situation than if it was, and also just gives him time to rest. Take a seat, you can still throw, but just take it easy for these 15 days. And I think this was a big plan in the Brewers kind of mindset, as well as, it's almost an excuse to let him have that few weeks just to kind of rest the arm and get ready for the later half of the season. But heading into that as well, Jacob Misiorowski, if he does stay on the IL a little bit longer than that 15 days or beyond the minimum, he could return in the 5-game series against the Cubs, which is a doubleheader. But as you're looking at kind of everyone going into the system, him and Logan Henderson, you want everybody to be fresh for the postseason. And that's kind of what the article as well is proposing, that, hey, keep these guys healthy, keep them ready to go, and have them, fresh for the postseason rather than having their arm worn out, because I think at this point, it's all safe to say that the Brewers are going to be in the postseason. Now, whether or not things change, they likely will. I think there's no doubt about that. There's still a lot of ball left to play in the remainder of the season, and a lot of things can change from here and then, but the Brewers are in a very good situation now heading into it, and honestly, I just don't want to jinx anything, so it makes sense what the Brewers are doing here. But also coming into it as well, when you're taking a look at, from the guys tonight, from what we've been seeing, from Logan Henderson's inning count as well, you're just seeing a lot of positivity come around this team, and I think this team is taking it very, very careful, and that's something that we've also seen Matt Arnold say heading into the injury that was a cause to Jacob Misiorowski. Hey, we're not going to rush him. We're going to make sure he's good before he even touches the field coming back, and I think the Brewers are going to be doing this with a lot of other players as well. Not necessarily, putting them on the IL or anything, but taking it easy with your stars, and I think that's one thing that has been pretty evident over the past few kind of days and weeks with the injuries to this team, and hopefully we do start to see some of them come back. Excuse me, but I also do want to pull up on tonight's game, kind of go over that a bit as well, because we have some guys that I mentioned in the last game as well that are absolutely on fire as of late. And I think that's something that a lot of players really needed, especially some that we're going to talk about here today. And we've also been talking about a little bit over the last few days as well. And of course, I wanted to pull up the top performers from tonight as well, because I think I could really put a lot of people on this list. I do like pulling up the MLB one too, because it kind of summarizes, the best opportunities here tonight. And of course, Isaac Collins, July Rookie of the Month, continuing to stay hot, a triple night, 2 for 4. But Joey Ortiz, still remaining hot, 2 for 3, a walk, and also a stolen base. He's been hot lately, and I want to pull up very quickly his stats as well over the last, not just kind of, 30 games where we're seeing a little bit better, 248, but over the last 7 games, a 346 average, and last 15 games, a 255. He's taking a major jump, and his slugging has as well, and I think this is something that is going to be obviously great to start the season, or to start kind of the later half of this season, heading towards the postseason, because, as I mentioned, being in trade rumors definitely lights a fire under some people. I think that Joey Ortiz was really kind of put into that perspective of being being replaced by really anybody the Brewers could have gotten their hands on, but that was not the case, and if he stays hot, we're in a very good shape, but especially as well, jumping into this game, getting a massive win here against the Braves again, going into tomorrow night's game, and hopefully getting another win to sweep this series as well. Not sure if you heard that, but I knocked on my desk, had to knock on wood, because this Brewers team is hot. And heading into this month with the Mets, the Pirates, the Reds, who, at least at the point of this video, were winning against the Cubs when, at this point right now, and when this is uploaded. So hopefully that stays the same, but then a 5-game series against the Cubs, then the Giants, Diamondbacks, and then the Blue Jays to end off the month, who are still a very hot team right now. So this is a challenging month, and putting this kind of 6-man rotation into the idea of Brewers fans, I think is a very interesting decision to come down to, and I want to get your opinion on it as well, and let me know what you think about this. First of all, the game here tonight, obviously a great one. We're going to kind of do a few more of these post-game kind of news videos as well here on the channel, so if you're excited for that and looking forward to getting all your Brewers news, be sure to hit the sub button, join me here on the channel, but be sure to let me know in the comments below what you think about the idea of a 6-man rotation for the Brewers. Not necessarily for the postseason, but for the remainder of the regular season to keep the arms fresh, keep everybody ready to go, and also kind of spread the wealth a little bit on this rotation, because I think that it's pretty fair to say everybody on this team right now, that or at least on the starting group, can hold their own in a game, and it's been pretty evident, especially over the past week or so, couple weeks with this Brewers team. So let me know what you think about that. That's all I got in this video. If you did enjoy, give it a like, hit the sub button as well. I'm signing out though. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.